Good evening everybody. Today we will discuss about the lesson Human Eye and Colorful World in 10th class. Let us see, we already learned about the different types of lenses and the image formation in lenses in convex and concave lens. If you observe carefully, our eye also acts as a biconvex lens. So we are seeing the images, that image formed on our retina, so we can see the objects in front of us. But at which distance we can see the objects clearly? If we observe carefully, at nearly 25 centimeters distance from our eye lens to the object, we can see the objects clearly. We can see the objects clearly when the object is kept before our eye lens at 25 centimeters. So 25 centimeters is called the least distance of distinct vision. Least distance of distinct vision. Is it common for everyone? If we know that, that is different for different people. For all human beings it is 25 centimeters, but for the infants or very small kids, if we observe, it is nearly 7 to 8 centimeters. Why? Because the elasticity property is more, their muscles are very strong, so they can easily see the objects in front of them at 7 to 8 centimeters. So for the infants or small people, small kids, that is nearly equal to 7 centimeters or 8 centimeters. But for old people, due to the lack of vision, why? Because the muscles becomes weak due to the age. When age grows up, their muscles becomes weak, so they cannot see the objects at 25 centimeters. So it changes their least distance of distinct vision will be changes. It is nearly 1 or 2 meters. For some, generally for 1 or 2 persons, it may be more than 2 meters also. They cannot see the objects properly. So what is the angle of vision? If we observe carefully, if we keep any object in front of us, when it is going long distance from our eye lens, we can see the total object. When it is becoming very near to us, what happens? At a particular distance after, we cannot see the total objects. Let us see, for example, in this scale, I can see here the total top and bottom at one time. If we kept here, means when it is become nearly, what happens? I cannot see the ends of this scale. Why? Because the angle is changes. From eye to the object, the angle is changes. At which angle we can see the object, total object, top to bottom completely is, that is 60 degrees. It is normal for a normal human being. It is common for a normal human being. The angle of vision for a common healthy person is 60 degrees. Okay. Now we are saying that our eye acts like a lens, so it must have some focal length. Well, our image is formed on retina. So wherever the object we kept in front of us, the image will be get on retina only. So the image distance is constant for a human eye. There is no choice. That is 2.5 centimeters. That is 2.5 centimeters. We know the lens formula, 1 by f is equal to 1 by v minus 1 by u. In that, v is constant. U means the object where you kept in front of our eye. Where is the change? In focal length, it must be changed. If there is no change in its focal length, we cannot see the objects properly. Our eye has a special property. It changes its radius of curvature by using the ciliary muscles at our eye. This process is called accommodation. Our eye has a special property, that is accommodation. It changes the radius of curvature of the eye lens, so the focal length also changes. Eye itself, it changes its radius of curvature. This phenomena is called accommodation. Eye has this special property. That's why wherever you kept the object also, you can see the clear image. Okay. Now, when suppose the object is at long distance, our focal length decreases. Why? Because we can see clearly. We can see the objects clearly, no need of any stress. But when the object is very near to our eyes, what happens? Focal length increases. In our eye, we are having rods and cones. What is the property of rod and what is the property of cone? To identify the intensity of light, rods are useful. In our eye, rods, what is the working of rods means it is identify the intensity of the light. Suppose the more intense lights are coming through the pupil, then immediately it converges the pupil. Then less amount of light rays only enter into the eye, remaining will be reflects and come back again. Suppose the intensity of light is very less, what happens? The rods expands itself, so more amount of light rays passes through the pupil. Rods adjust the intensity of the light, they identify the intensity of light. Based on necessity, it changes the intensity of the light enter into our eye. Then what is the use of cones? Cones identify the color of objects. We are seeing different colors of objects. How can we identify that colors? Because of the cones present in our eye. Because of the cones present in our eye, that cones helps us to identify the different colors of different objects. In that cones we are having a 125 million receptors which receives the different colors of lights. In our eye also has the million optic nerves. It collects the information and send to the mind. Next, focal length of the eye lens is maximum 2.5 centimeters when the object is kept at infinite distance. When the object kept at infinite distance, we can get the maximum focal length of the eye, that is 2.5 centimeters. When the object kept at least distinct vision, that means 25 centimeters, we can get the minimum focal length 2.27. That means wherever we keep the object in front of our eye, the focal length of the eye must be in between 2.27 to 2.5. It adjusts the focal length and forms the image on retina only. Next, our eye has different types of eye defects. We already know that eye has different defects, that is myopia, hypermetropia, presbyopia, color blindness, glaucoma, trachoma, these all are different eye diseases. Here we have to discuss only 3 eye diseases, that is myopia, hypermetropia and presbyopia. Myopia also called as short-sightedness, that means we can see the object which is near to us, we cannot see the objects clearly which is far from us. To rectify that problem, we use bifocal lens, biconcave lens. By using biconcave lens, we can adjust the focal length of our eye and we can get the image on retina by using the formula F is equal to minus D. For hypermetropia, it is also called as long-sightedness. That means we can see the long objects, but we cannot see the objects which is near to us. But to rectify that problem, we use biconvex lens and the focal length must be adjusted by using this formula 25D by D minus 25. For myopia, we can get the far point, D means the far point. For hypermetropia, we can get the near point, D. What is the far point and what is the near point? If you observe carefully, far point means how much distance we can see the object clearly is called far point. And here the D means at how much near distance. More than that near we cannot see that object clearly, that is called near point distance is D. For hypermetropia. For hypermetropia we can get the near point and for myopia you can get the far point. Another eye defect is called presbyopia. This is occurs only due to the old age. The muscles becomes very weak, so the accommodation of the eye decreases, the accommodation capacity of the eye decreases, so we can get this type of eye disease. We use to rectify this problem, we use bifocal lens. In upside it has concave and down we can get convex. So 2 types of lenses we will use. So we are having 2 focal lens. 2 means we will say that is bi. So bifocal lens we will use to rectify the problem presbyopia. Next, how to find out the refractive index of a prism. To find the refractive index of a prism, first we have to calculate the minimum deviation angle. To do that, we have to do an experiment. We have to incident a light ray it 2 times refraction takes place at the 2 edges of the prism and emergence that angle. Find out the deviation, how much deviation it angles. Change the angle of incidence continuously and find out the angle of deviation continuously. What happens if you observe gradually the angle of deviation decreases when it reaches a particular point, after again it increases again. So we will get the minimum deviation angle. By using that minimum deviation angle in this formula, we can get the refractive index of the prism, that n is equal to sin a plus d by 2 by sin a by 2. Sometimes we can use sin dm, means minimum deviation of that particular prism. So sin a plus d by 2 by sin a by 2 is the formula to measure the refractive index of the prism. Here a means the angle of prism, it is always we will get 60 degrees. Next, dispersion of light. When a light ray passes through a prism, it deviates into 7 colors, that is called Vibgayar: violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange and red. Violet has maximum deviation and red has minimum deviation. Why deviation takes place? Due to the changes in the wavelengths. Actually, there is no change in its frequency. Frequency is constant for a source of light. For a one source of light, the frequency is constant for that light ray. But why it deviates when it passes through from the prism? There is a change in its wavelength. There is a change in its velocity. That velocity, wavelength are also interdependent. By using the formula, if you know V is equal to F lambda formula, V is equal to F lambda. What does it mean? V is equal to F lambda. F means frequency, lambda is wavelength, V is the velocity of light in that medium. So we already know that F is constant, frequency is constant for a particular color. Then what happens? V is proportional to lambda. When lambda increases, V increases, lambda increases. When V decreases, lambda decreases. What does it mean? Which light has more wavelength, the velocity also more for that light. Which light has less wavelength, the velocity also less in that particular light ray. See, here we know that in Vibgayar, V has the maximum deviation and violet, V means here violet. Violet color has maximum deviation and it has minimum wavelength. What does it mean? Its velocity is less and its wavelength also less. Red has maximum wavelength and velocity also more. It has minimum deviation. Red color has minimum deviation, violet color has maximum deviation. Red color has more wavelength and violet color has less wavelength. But in accordance with frequency, violet has more frequency, the red has less frequency. If we observe this order from violet to red, frequency gradually decreases and wavelength increases. From violet to red, frequency gradually decreases and wavelength increases. From red to violet, wavelength gradually decreases and frequency increases. What is frequency? Number of waves emitted by a source of light in 1 second. In 1 second, a source of light, how many waves of light emitted is called frequency. The number of waves emitted by a source of light in 1 second is called frequency. Here we are saying about the wave, not a ray. Light not only ray, it acts like a wave. So that's why we can call the light waves, light rays are electromagnetic waves also. Means it passes through 3 into 10 power 8 meter per second. The velocity is constant to the light ray. Light is also a source of energy, like wind, water. Light is also a source of energy. When it emits on a molecule or a atom, what happens? The atom vibrates. Due to its vibrations, some colors are emitted, re-emitted by that atoms. When a light incident on an atom or molecule, it vibrates and re-emits some amount of light energy it absorbs and remaining it re-emits. That re-emission of light is called scattering. The re-emission of light from the molecules or atoms is called scattering. Okay. Next, in the atmosphere we are having nitrogen, oxygen more. Sometimes in a sunny day also the rain will come, that time we can observe the rainbow. How the rainbow will be formed? In a raindrop acts like a biconvex lens. What happens when light ray enter into that one, at the two edges refraction takes place. At when the angle of incidence reaches 0 to 40 degrees at a particular angle, again it come back into the total internal reflection takes place from the second edge, and again it come back into the same medium. Due to this process we can get the rainbow. At 42, the angle between the incident and emergent ray is 42 degrees, 0 to 42 degrees. We can get a rainbow and we can see the red color. Suppose the angle is 40 degrees, we can see the violet color. At angle 42 degrees, we can see the red color. At angle 40 degrees, we can see the violet color. In between 40 degrees to 42 degrees, we can see all colors in rainbow. Next place, due to the scattering only, we can see the color of sky as blue. We are seeing that color of sky is blue. How we can explain why it is getting blue color? In our atmosphere, we are having large amount of nitrogen and oxygen molecules. The size of the oxygen and nitrogen molecules free is comparable to the frequency of light. Then it emits remaining all colors emergence, and it emits the blue color. Due to that one we can see the sky in blue color. But in the noon of a sunny day, amount of water vapor present in the air more. Not only nitrogen and oxygen, water vapor also present in air becomes more. It is comparison, all colors are comparison to the weight molecules, size of the molecules of these molecules, nitrogen, oxygen and water vapor. So all colors will be re-emitted by these molecules. These all colors combines and forms a light color, so white color. So we can see white color in sunny day. The sky appears as white color in sunny day. As well as due to the wavelength of red is more, that's why we can see either in the morning or evening we can see the sun appears like a red, because it travels long distance. Wavelength of red is only more than comparatively to the remaining colors. Remaining all colors disappears in the atmosphere. Only red color reaches our eye in either morning or evening. So we can see the red color in morning and evening in the sky. Thank you.